Are you looking for the perfect card to celebrate a holiday birthday? Let's create something truly special, a Christmas rose card. Using the stunning Helleborus die from Susan's Garden Club, I'll guide you through shaping lifelike petals and leaves. We'll add depth with vibrant Copic markers and complete the design with an elegant foliage die from Tim Holtz for a truly festive touch. This card will be perfect for celebrating a birthday during the most magical time of the year. Hey everyone, it's Lean from coloradolean.com. Welcome back to the craft room. Let's get started with our project by cleaning things up just a little bit and working on our card base. As always, I am using Recollections brand card. I'll be using 65-pound for my die cuts as well as the card front, and I'll be using 110-pound for the card base itself. For an accent, I'm also going to be using the rose gold foil cardstock paper, also from Recollections. So I've already done some die cutting. We will be making an A2 size card, which measures 5.5 by 4.25. I have a card mat cut from the rose gold at 4 inches by 5.25. And then my card front is at 3.75 inches by 5 inches tall. I've also cut out an oval shape with a Spellbinders oval die. I don't know if they have this set any longer, but I will definitely link to something comparable for you down in the description, as well as the corresponding blog post. So we will set these aside, and I want to stamp my sentiment first. I want to make sure I know exactly where that's being placed. So I will put that into my mini Misty. And I'm going to be using my Kaiser Craft Occasions stamp set. This is my go-to for any kind of birthday card, really. So I'm going to put this up at the top, and I know it has a bend in it, so I will work on that here on the door of my Misty. Get that lined up a little bit straighter. Okay. I'm going to find my oval and bring that in really quick just to kind of gauge and make sure I have that sentiment in the proper place. Now, if I had done this correctly the first way, I would have put my oval on and then laid out my sentiment. Yeah, that'll be fine. So we'll make sure this is in the corner. And I am going to be using my Ranger Distress Archival Ink in Hickory Smoke. I won't have any black on the front of my card, so this will be nice. And we'll give that a couple of presses. And it looks like I need to order some more ink for this. Okay. And then I will clean this off in a little bit. Set that off to the side. And I want to actually put my card base together first so that when I make the flowers, I can just put them right on. So the first thing I'm going to do is add some score tape to the back of my card front. And while I have my tape out, I will also put some on the back of my rose gold metallic cardstock piece. I think I'm just going to put the oval and the card front onto the metallic base. And then since I have the glue on, or the score tape on here already, I will be able to easily adhere that to the card front once the flowers are on. And I do apologize for the glare on this metallic cardstock. It is beautiful, but it is also a little shiny. It's not as bad as the mirrored cardstock I was using the other day, so there's that. Okay, we'll get that on there. And then I will put some score tape on the back of my oval as well. And then I will line this up in the middle. And I do apologize if my head gets in the way. All right, so there is our card front. So we'll go ahead and set this aside while we work on our flowers. Okay, so if you recall, we are going to be making a Christmas rose with the Helleborus die set from Susan's Garden Club. The Helleborus is also known as the Lenten rose or the Christmas rose. And it is really, really pretty. There are so many different colors. Go ahead and look that up online and you will see so many different color options that you can make. This particular stamp set is from Tonic Studios. Susan is no longer with Tonic Studios, but she is with Spellbinders. And she has come out with another Helleborus die set. I will definitely link that one below in the description as well as the corresponding blog post. And I think that one's going to be on my Christmas wish list as well, because with her new die set, you can make a double flower, which is beautiful. And then I'm also going to be using this die here from the Tim Holtz Holiday Greens mini die set, just to add a little bit something extra to it. I have already cut everything out on my Spellbinders Big Shot, or no, my Scenics Big Shot. I apologize for that. I didn't know how many flowers I wanted to make, so I cut 3 of everything. So there are the options. The first thing I want to do is I want to go ahead and color the holiday greens from Tim Holtz. And I will be using G28 Ocean Green for this one. And I'm just going to sweep this across carefully. If it doesn't all get covered, that's fine. It is winter, so we'll just call that a little bit of frost. I think that would be a nice little addition to it. And this is an incredibly delicate die. So we're going to be careful with it, but we also don't want to take forever. So I will go ahead and speed through the rest of this. All right, so we have those done. Now let's pull out some of the leaves. This particular Helleborus die set from Susan has a triple leaf as well as a single leaf. I think in her new die set, I think she just has like 2 leaves and then a single leaf. So for these, I'm going to be using G99, which is olive, as well as YG63, which is pea green. I will be using the G99 first, just at the base of the petal or at the base of the leaves. And I'm honestly not sure which ones I'm going to be using. And I'm not really sure which way these single leaves go. If it's the tiny point up or that goes underneath or the larger point, I don't know. So, and I'm probably doing it backwards. It's probably the tiny point that is out front. But, you know, it is what it is, I guess. All right, so I have that color on, and now I'm just going to go over it with the YG63, and I'll just rush right through that for you. And I'm also going to do the backside with this lighter color. Okay, I cleaned off my fingers and my little Teflon sheet, and now we're going to go ahead and work on the petals. So I'm going to start off with RV66, and I'm going to go around the outside of the petal, or of all the petals. And now I'm just going to put a little bit of this dark color at the base of each petal, as well as in the center. And again, I am using the flicking technique. And now I'm going to use RV63 to finish filling in the petal. And then this is the color that I will use on the back side as well. Now, one way we can add a little bit more texture to our petals is we can take the darker color, and I'm just going to scribble a little dot there on my mat. And I'm just going to lay my petals into that ink and pick up some little spots. Let's get a few more spots on that one petal. Okay, and that just adds a nice little texture there. Let's put a little bit more on that one. Okay, that might be a little bit much there, but you know, you never know what it's going to look like in nature. So I'm going to go ahead and clean this pink off of my mat real quick, and then we will color the stamens. Okay, so this is where I'm going to deviate just a little bit from Susan's design. To make the Helleborus, you need to cut one of each petal size, 2 stamens, and then she has one piece that looks like this that goes in the very center of the flowers. I have this flower made, and I hope you can see just how much height there is on that. I am planning on putting this in a regular envelope, so I'm going to omit that piece, and I will put in a third stamen for that. So the colors I'm going to be using here, I'll be using a little bit of G20, which is called wax white, and a little bit of Y11, which is pale yellow. If you look online, you'll notice that most of the flowers have a little bit of green in the stamen. And also, there are a few varieties that are kind of a yellow-green color. So I will go ahead and put this in the center, and then I will follow up with the Y11 and put that on the back. Okay, let's go ahead and start shaping our leaves. I am working with the McGill flower shaping kit. I will link that below. Susan has a fantastic toolkit, and again, it's on the wish list. We'll see what happens. So I'm going to go ahead and use a loop tool, and I'm just going to go over the back of the leaf just to add a little bit of dimension to it. And then I'm going to take the smallest stylus that I have. This is a 1 millimeter. And I'm going to go ahead and draw in my stem line. Oh, no. I'm going to bring in the leaf pad to do that. And I will draw in my stem line. Okay. And then I will bend that. Now, Susan uses a pan pastel to add a little bit of extra dimension to her flowers and leaves. I have a very old Inkadinkado soft tones blending chalk set, and I am going to use that. I will use this light green, and I will just draw down the back of that stem line. And now I will take the 1 millimeter stylus again, and I will just draw in a few lines. Now I'm not going over the stem line in the middle, I'm just going right up next to it. If I had the proper tools, it would be a more defined line, but I'm going to work with what I have. So then I'm going to take some reverse tweezers and grab it in the center and cut that up a little bit. And then I'm going to take a medium ball stylus And I'm just going to use it on the very end of the leaf. And then that is our finished leaf. I hope you can see that. I hope it's in frame. I'm going to go ahead and finish up my leaves here. I did cut the 3-petal leaves apart with the Copic markers. They were getting a little wet and getting a little not good. So I just chopped them off. So I'll go ahead and speed through the rest of this. Okay, let's move on to our flower petals. So we're going to start again with the loop tool. And we are just going to go from the outside to the inside. And then we'll do that on both sides. Okay, and then we'll take our reverse tweezers and we will just come into the middle and then pinch the petal up. And then while we're holding it, we're just going to roll this edge. Okay, and then we will do the same on the other side. Then we'll pinch that petal up and then roll the edge. Now, the more you do this, the better you're going to get. It's been a while since I've used any of Susan's dyes, so I'm not that good at it. I need to practice a lot more. Okay. And then I will go ahead and do the same thing to the 3-petal. I will use the loop tool, and then I will use the reverse tweezers to pinch and roll the edges. So I will be back with you in a little bit. Okay, now that we're back, I'm going to take the 2mm stylus and I'm just going to press down in the center of these petals to cup them up. And now these are finished and ready to be glued together. So the last thing we're going to do is we're going to work with our stamen. We're going to need a pair of thin scissors. The thinnest I have are my cutter bee scissors. And what we're going to do is we are going to cut the center of each of these lines. So we're going to double the real estate on that. And let me put it on my mat and bring it closer so you can see. And I will have close-up photos for you available on the corresponding blog post at coloradolean.com. So I'm going to go ahead and finish cutting these other 2 stamen, and then we will be back and I'll show you what we're going to do with them. So for the next step for our stamen, we're going to be adding some flower pollen to the ends, and this is the Sunflower Symphony color. So I am going to put out some art glitter glue onto my mat. And let's see, I'm going to use my other tweezers for this. So let's get that open, get pollen all over the place. And we're just going to dip the ends of the stamen into the glue and then into the pollen. And we don't need a whole lot on there, just enough to add a little bit of dimension to it. So I will go ahead and finish going around all 3 of the stamen, and we'll be right back. Okay, so while our stamen are drying, let's go ahead and glue our flower together. So in these 2 pieces, the 2 petals are going to go on the bottom, and then we're going to put our 3 petal on top of that. So I'm going to go ahead and just use this little silicone stick thing here and put some glue on the back. And then I'm going to line this. I'm going to attempt to line this up. Let's see. Yeah. Wow. A little more glue on there. And then I will line that up. And I'll use the other side to kind of hold it down. And then kind of adjust the petals a little bit. And there we have our flower. So I'm going to go ahead and let everything dry, and I will be back with you in just a few minutes. All right, so we are back. The glue is dried. I did use my 5mm stylus to cup the center of all 3 of my center pieces. And let's just slide that out of the way for the moment and bring our card front in. So the plan that I have for this card is I want to take this greenery from Tim Holtz and I want to place it around the oval like that. And then I will put my flower in and then the leaves around there. So let's go ahead and glue down our evergreen. So I'm going to put down just a few dots of glue here and there. All right, so we'll see how that does. And I will place that down. So I am just going to put some glue down here on my Teflon mat. That'll be a little bit easier to grab when I go to put my flower down. So I'll put some glue on there, and then I will set that right there. And then I'm going to grab one of the stamen sections, and I will just push that down in the middle. Kind of bring that up around the flower. And I want to do my best to kind of offset these. It's not going to be super easy to do, but I think it'll be all right. And then I have one more that I'm putting in. And then we'll just, oh, that was the wrong side. Okay, well, we'll let that one dry a little bit. Now we will just start adding in some leaves. Now, one thing Susan does when she puts her cards together is she uses a, I believe it's called a Beacon's school glue or a children's glue. It's a little bit thicker than like my art glitter glue. So at some point I may pick some of that up as well. Okay. Okay. There. And there is our finished flower. Now I could, I don't know, I may go ahead and cut one of these pieces, maybe trim it down a little bit shorter and add it in the center because it looks unfinished. I will definitely give you that. It looks unfinished. So let me go ahead and do that real quick, and I'll be right back with you. Okay, so I did cut a centerpiece. Here is one that I already did. I did cut the very ends off, so it's not quite as tall. And then, like with the center of the other stamen, I did snip each piece. So the way we want to do this is we will grab hold of it with the little tail here. And then we will take some glue and run it just along the bottom, and I may need to get more glue out, of course. Yeah, and then we'll just run it along the bottom. Well, actually, you know what? That should be this other pair of tweezers. There. And then you just wind it up. Just like that. So you have a cute little stack there like that. So I will bring in my pollen again. And then we'll just kind of fray this out a little bit with our fingernails. And then gently tap the ends into our little glue pile here. Separate that a little bit. And then into the pollen. And then we have our little center. Bring in my card front. And tap this into the glue and then just put it into the center of our flower. Well, maybe I'll put a little bit of glue in the middle. Yeah. And there we go. And then we will let that sit for a few moments. Now I am definitely going to link Susan's video down in the comments or down in the description, as well as the corresponding blog post, and she can show you the perfect way to make this beautiful Christmas rose. This looks nice, but it's certainly not perfect. But anyway, let's go ahead and let this dry, and we will come back and I will show you the final card. Thank you so much for joining me in creating this beautiful Christmas rose card, perfect for celebrating a holiday birthday. If you're looking to present this 3D card in style, stay tuned for a quick tutorial on making a custom box to protect and showcase your creation. It's the perfect finishing touch for a handmade card like this. I hope you enjoyed learning how to shape the petals, add vibrant colors with Copic markers, and incorporate elegant foliage for that festive touch. If you're inspired to try this project, I'd love to see your creations. Tag me on social media or share them down in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to hit that notification bell so you know when I put up the next video. For even more crafting inspiration, head over to the blog at coloradolean.com. Thanks for watching and have a fantastic week. Bye.